Or maybe
Hi. Other action figures each sold separately. From
record the purr.
Jenny, get the door. It must be Cousin Willie. Okay. Hi. What's up?
Ah, there we go. Something chill to watch. The following video is rated R and is intended for an adult audience. So if you're under 18, take a fucking hike, eh? As this video may contain adult themes and situations, strong language and opinions, good and bad advice, cannabis cultivation and consumption. So as long as you're a responsible adult, kick back, spark one up, and enjoy the show.
And clean works only.
Is this the right one? Or is this the one? Aw, the microphone's being wrong. Give me a second. It's picked up the wrong microphone again. Hi everybody, Cannabeard Grows here. How you doing? It is picking up the wrong microphone. There, with the sound blaster. There we go. That's much better. Let me just tap this. Okay, we got the correct microphone now. Once again, hi everybody, Cannabeard Grows here. How the heck are you doing on this kind of humid, hot Friday in yeah, it's pretty warm here today. It's very humid in the house today. Here for I don't know how the weather is for all you guys here, but it was a very warm day. It was almost summer, if you will. Hold on, if I stand over here, I can get a better light balancing with the autofocus. Yeah, but as you might have seen behind me and seen in the thumbnail, holy crap, are my plants growing huge right now. We'll get on to that in a moment. Yeah, see, it's so humid in here, the ventilation just kicked on behind me. It's probably, where are we at in here? Oh yeah, it's almost 60. It's almost 60 RH in this room right now. It probably was 60, which is what triggers that thing. So that's probably why the one triggered about a, whatever. It's humid in here, let me tell you that. Okay, so before we get on to the actual show here, I want to remind everybody that there is a giveaway going on. I am giving away an FCE 1500 from MARSHYDRO. You're gonna have to go back and check the 420 giveaway video for information on how to enter that. It's just like the last published video, I think. Yeah, it'll be the last published video, not the last live stream. The last live stream will be Sunday session, I believe. Anyway, get on that. You guys got about 24 hours. I'm pulling some names here soon. End at midnight tomorrow. I'm pulling names. So, well, pulling a name. We only got one to give away. We're giving one light away, and yeah, so I'm pulling that name via random number generator tomorrow night before bed. So yeah, things are doing really well in here. But part of that humidity that I just spoke of is part of why we're going to do what we're going to do here today. Now, in the past, I've spoken about the joys of low stress training, how it kind of avoids having to do very much defoliation. And for a certain extent, that's true. But you do hit this point right here, where you're in like mid-flower, early flower, whatever, tons of veg. That big stretch, that flower stretch is happening. Everything's growing, everything's perspiring and drinking lots of nutrients and water. And this is a ebb and flow hydroponic system. So moisture is in the air. And the amount of leaves is contributing to the density of that and a concentration of that moisture. So what we're gonna do here today is we're gonna go in and we're gonna strip away a little bit of leaves. Not very much. These are autoflowers. They don't like a whole bunch of defoliation, but there is some major older sun leaves and stuff that we can maneuver, ones that are perhaps shading other bud sites that we can remove. to add for better airflow, better light penetration throughout the entire canopy. So the whole plant can get better light penetration because you won't have, you know, big old sun leaves blocking out the light on it. But again, we're not gonna strip these ladies. We're just gonna go in and do some very selective fan leaf removal. So far, I had to, these ladies are drinking a lot of water right now, like a lot of water. I actually kind of underestimated how much water they did, and I wasn't paying attention to my reserve the other day. And my reserve, it didn't run dry, but it ran low enough that I don't know if it had enough to fill the system over here when it tried to feed it. And as a result, it just splooshed the water in the bottom of it up like heck. And due to a little bit of mineral deposits and you know, just a little bit of leftover sediment and whatever from any of these nutrients that sits on the bottom of the system there, I washed it in between my last grow, but it still happens during the cycle of the grow. It mixed it all up and became mud. And now my water's real foggy. My water's really particulate-y. So one thing I've been doing to combat this a little bit is this stuff right here. Hygrozyme. This is a beneficial enzyme that helps break down dead organic matters. So this will actually help break down anything that is, you know, like if it was any algae-y things that might try to spark up in that, and it just helps the rapid degradation of some of that stuff, thus improving your water quality pretty quickly. So that's been helping me a little bit, but I'm gonna have to do a water change. I think due to my mistake and just the cloudiness after I refilled this, it's so cloudy, I feel like maybe I should just clean it all out. Give it a good clean, give it a fresh drink right into flower here. We still got a little bit of ways, so it can absolutely take another strong feeding and a full water system. But yeah, I'm currently running at around 550. It was bouncing between 500 and 600 ppms of this stuff right here. Advanced hydroponics, pH perfect, 3-part set with a bunch of the little bells and whistles, extras, bud candy, bloom enhancer, this, that, you know, CalMag, the etceteras, right? Mars 420 hydro. I appreciate your enthusiasm, everybody. I love it. But yeah, let me, I think it's maybe that time, hey? Are we at that time? Is it that time, folks? I think it is. But where is it?
Dab time, motherfucking dab time, dab time, time to take a fucking dab break.
Gonna be smoking on a mixture of Romulan butter that I melted into, I broke up and crumbled and melted into what was left of the sativa mix. There's almost no sativa left. I'm trying to stretch it out, so I mixed some of that beautiful Romulan. I know it's an indica, mixing the indica into the sativa is a no-no. But whatever, man. I got some nice jam up in the corner there. It was just a little bit of, it's mixed stuff. It's good. Anyway. Also, Dab Time Blasters limited run coming very soon. Stay tuned. I will announce something very soon about this. Whoa. Woo. Wowzers. Oh, okay. Well, now that we got that out of the way, let's go take a look at the garden, and then we'll start getting into it to defoliate. But first, I'll give you the little flyby. You can come on in here and have a look. I'm going to turn out the lights soon so it's not so intense on it here. Actually, I think I'm going to do that right now, like this. Hold on. This is maybe a good time to actually do a little plug here. These lights are in fact from MARSHYDRO. You know them, you love them. You've heard about them forever. Well, maybe now's your chance to give it a try if you haven't already broken into and checked out the MARSHYDRO products. They got some pretty cool lights. This light here, in fact, is an Fc8000. This is the 4 foot by 4 foot fixture, or sorry, almost 5 foot by 5 foot. It's 4.5 by 4.5, whatever. It's for a 5 by 5 space, mixed with the whole ADLITE system. So we got deep reds, ultraviolets, UVs, and blue for the grow periods. Let me turn this right off here for a minute. There we go. And then we turn off them far reds. Where are we here? Right there. Bam. Now let's have a look in here. Oh, it's kind of dark, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to bring those lights back on a little bit. Let's take a look and see how dark it is. It looks dark in here anyway. It looks okay on camera. It looks okay on camera. Anyway, thank you very much, MARSHYDRO. Links below, all that jazz. You know how it works. So this first one here is it's a little bit lighter. It's not yellow. It's kind of the weird lighting in here, but it is darker, lighter than the back two. The front two kind of have this slightly lighter look. I'm using a fair amount of CalMag, so I don't feel like I'm under CalMagging it. Maybe I am. I know they drink a lot, but I felt like I don't know how to test for CalMag, so I've been just kind of doing what the bottle and the internet kind of suggests for rough dosings in the amount of liters I'm using or whatever, gallons, liters, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, looking good though. I mean, like I said, the leaves are a little skinny and they're just, this front one's doing, I mean, it's growing like mad. It is just huge. It has gone crazy since the last time. You can see the amount of just a little bit of bending this over, a little bit of LST, man. I didn't even go very far. Has really created about 1 million tops on this one plant. And then look at this. This was that weird little runt of a plant that almost didn't make it. It's this big, tall, weird runt now. It's a big super mutant tall thing. It still looks all spindly and shitty, but I'm keeping an eye on you. You may have female-looking buds, but I still don't 100% trust you, plant. So I'm keeping an eye on it for balls or anything like that. I don't want to get a bunch of seeds out of this mix if I can help it. The back one. See, looking healthier than the front. I mean, they're getting the exact same nutrient feed. They're all in the same lines. So they're getting exactly the same everything. Maybe the back ones get a little bit more light, perhaps. This one's looking real good though. Hey, look at this one. Let's get right in on this. But as you can see, it's kind of a jungle in there, hey? There's not a whole lot of airflow movement possibilities and or permanent light penetration from what you can tell. It's pretty jungly. It's pretty thick in there. So we're gonna get in there and just trim it down a little bit. Give it a little haircut, man. Just thin out some of them big ones, like I said, that are shadowing the other bud sites, and just make sure that airflow is improved a little bit. That's all. That's the goal here. So, how do we even start this? Right? Like that's kind of a question. Like, what do you do? So hold on. Let me first off start off by moving the camera up a bunch like this, so I can kind of maybe bring it down, and you can see a bit better of actually what I'm doing. But what I'm looking for is anything that leaves are touching like this. When you get leaves that touch like this, is what happens is they get moisture in between the two layers, and that can actually lead to mold and stuff if you don't deal with it, if you don't have proper airflow. Now, I've got a fan right here blowing right through the middle of the canopy, but I put my hand back here and I'm not feeling much. So it's not getting through very good because there's a lot of crossover here. So something I do often is I do preach the cleanliness of scissors. Scissors are cleaner than your hands, but my hands cramp sometimes, especially doing weird motions like scissors and stuff. Weird little motions. I don't like too much. One of the things I can do though is simply, let me see here. Let me see if this leaf, I'm trying to see if that one's on. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure it's in frame, hey? So this one right here is what I'll do quite often is I'll just pull the leaf down against the stalk. So I'm folding it like this, like you're breaking your thumb, snap like this, with a leaf. You just pull it down, snap, and it breaks off. Simple as that. No harm, no fuss, no cutting. You don't have to worry about cleaning scissors. For the most part, that works pretty good, and it's fast. So you can just stick your hands in there and just kind of grab and pull down and snap on certain primary leaves, especially, like I said, really big ones, and or especially ones that are like pressing up against others. You can see ones that are shading others, just big ones, internal, lower, large ones can all go. We're really trying to focus on the top of the plant as far as energy goes. So a lot of this lower stuff could really just go. You could really do a quite the undercut if you wanted to. However, again, be careful. These are autoflowers. They don't love being strip mined like that, you know. you can do a couple on each stalk for sure. You can get in there and remove some leaves that are necessary to move to improve airflow and etc. like I keep saying. And I just go in and I kind of go in and I put my finger right along up to this. Is that a cat? Yeah. Oh, I think maybe the suction just pulled my door open. Anyway, it's like this against the stalk, and I get in here and I just push my finger down like this so that it snaps. I push it against the stalk, and then it snaps super easy like that. Again, you do as you wish. Some people swear by scissors. Personally, I find it just a million times easier to get my hands in there. Let me know in the comments, are you guys scissors or are you handsies? Get your hands dirty in there like me. So one of the things you can also do is look for these junctions like this where you know this is a bud site, this is a bud site. At the bottom of each of those, there's generally a big leaf. You just grab them like this and push them down. Like I said, snap, snap, and then you pull them both out like that. And doing that in a couple of big spots with those big leaves will really allow for a lot more airflow. Those are a lot of times the big culprits, is these big fat sun leaves from the early and mid veg stage. There's also a lot of like little tiny ones inside here. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna cut one because I can see it, and I'm just gonna show you what I'm talking about. A lot of times I will come in and try to cut out a lot of these. See these little spindly things? There's some of these things inside that, Pepper, did you jump over my little barricade? That was you pushing the door open, you little turkey. Anyway, ones like this are never gonna produce very much. They're taking up a lot of space, they're sucking up nutrients, and you know, you might get a fucking half a joint worth of a bud off the end of this little spindly thing. This was at the very bottom. That's why it's so spindly. It's trying to get up through the canopy to get some light. But you could cut a couple of those off if you wanted to. I try to get those before even I get into this stage so that they're not a problem at all. I don't even have to worry about those things because they're not even in there for very much. Hi, Pepper. Hello, Pepper Kitty. Pepper Kitty. Pepper. She wants to come in, and you like the plants, don't you? Okay. Here. I don't want you eating my plants though, honey. Here, you can have a leaf. Take a leaf over here. Here, take a leaf over there and chew on that one. But not on the live ones, please, honey. Both my cats come in here. Oh, look, here's one right here. This is a cat chewed leaf. You can see the way it looks. That was a cat getting up there and going nyang, 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 chewing on a freaking leaf. Turkeys. Okay, and I come under here and take some of this lower little leaves off, like I was saying. Oh, try to reach. It's hard to get under all of this, to be honest, without sort of getting into some weird yoga positions sometimes, and I'm not that flexible anymore. It gets hard to get in here sometimes is all. Now let me come and stand over top of it here and take a look for some. There, I'm probably almost done this one for the most part. I could do a whole bunch more on everything for sure, but like I said, you just need to get a few of these major big old school leaves out of the way here, and maybe a very unproductive low larfy branch or two out of the way, and that'll allow a lot of airflow coming through the bottom here. There we go. Gonna reach around the back here and try to get some. Holy smokes, this is a big plant. I'm impressed. Wow. There's just so much to it. I'm getting right in here. Okay, well. Yeah, I'd like to get some of this more middle jungle out of here. Yeah, I think, you know, I try not to do too much of this, but I think I need to get into the middle here, like I was saying, and get some of this small stuff out of the bottom here. There's so much of it down there, and it's just not doing any good. So let me cut a couple of these little spindly things off. Hi, Pepper. Yeah, there's a couple more right there. See, it's nothing good that I'm cutting off here, just to be clear. You look at these things, they're just these skinny little things. And there's just a couple of them down here, and there was just so much that it was why it was so dense down here for jungle-wise, because there's all these little things down there. Anyway, that's probably about good enough for that plant. I don't want to go too friggin' crazy on it, but I did really want to get inside of it here. And as you can see, there's sort of a bit more openings. It's still a friggin' sweaty jungle in there, but there was a lot of leaves when I opened this up like this that were still pressing on each other. So, see, look, here she goes again. Pepper, I just gave you a whole bowl full of leaves right over here, and you're sitting right there, fully busted, chewing on my Pepper. God dang it. Oh well, you're so freaking cute. I can't really blame you. And I still gotta, speaking of yoga, I gotta yoga my fat ass back here somehow and try to get these two. I'm gonna do those two off of camera. But I need to definitely get into the back there and do a little bit of the same. Now, if I wasn't all pipe cleanered up like this, I could almost, Pepper, nah, whatever. I don't care. That's a lower larf. You're helping me. Let's just say it's help. If these weren't all strung up like this with pipe cleaners, and I could undo them a little bit, but I could technically pick the bag up out of the pot and move it aside and then have access to those back two. But there's a couple things. Number one, it's pretty heavy. Number two, it's tied down pretty heavy, and I don't really want to do that. And it's just, it's kind of a pain in the butt. All I can say is I really hope in my new place, after the move, that I'm going to have the proper room and or ability to get a little more 360 on my grow space. I might try to keep a very similar size system going as this. There's Pepper down there, eating away, nom nom nom. I know, right? It looks freaking nuts, eh? Hey, speaking of freaking polar caps, hold on a second. I've actually got a late last week picture from you. Where is it? Right here. Nope. Just the one, please. Boop. This one here. Holy smoke, this is a big photo. I should have resized this beforehand, but whatever. There we go. So here is, Look at yours is looking way fatter. This one looks more like my back two phenos. There we go. There we go. That's looking good though. This is Polar Caps of the same the Northern Lights. Northern Lights Autos. Heck yeah though, man. Looking good, looking good. That was a late last week thing here. Okay, Pepper, here. Come on. Here, open the door. And I'll get you out of here before you eat too many more plants. Thank you, honey. Oops. Whew, man, it is humid in here. Holy smokes, though, eh? Oh yeah, the humidity has risen. It has risen since I've been in here. Oh, this thing's too high. Hold on a second. Not that kind of high. There we go. That's about correct. Something like that, yeah. So, as I was saying earlier in the video, don't forget, you guys got 24 more hours, maybe like 28 more hours, whatever, to still enter for the contest for the MARSHYDRO giveaway. I'm giving away an FC-E1500. Over on my main videos, there is a 420 giveaway video that was on the 20th of this month. So it was just main videos a couple of days ago. Go check it out. It'll give you all the information on how to enter. And yeah, I'll be announcing the winner of that on Sunday, right after Sunday session. I'll be announcing the winner. I'll try to cut it beforehand if I can. If not, I'll just end up doing some sort of a live giveaway announcement, something like that. I don't know. We'll see what the day brings. It all depends what Sunday session looks like and how stoned I get. Yeah, so thank you all for hanging out with me here today. Like I said, I got to get back into the back here, and you guys don't want to stare at my big old butt struggling to hold a balance and try to get some leaves out of there. So I'll just do that on my own. You've seen the first one, you've seen the process, you understand what's going on. Next week, will be much more into flower for sure than it is today. We're looking good. It's smelling good in here. Like I said, the humidity's rising a little bit, but I got ways of ventilating the room properly, and the rest of the basement's super dry, so it'll balance out. It'll just suck super dry air in from the rest of the basement, and away we go. Also, I've got some dehumidifiers if it really gets crazy and I'm having a hard time dealing with it. I've got a couple of, medium units like this that I could bring in here and stick it run in the middle here somewhere, and it would do its job, fill up like no problem. Anyway, on that note, I'm gonna go make myself some dinner. So have yourself a wonderful Friday night. Thank you for showing up. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs button down there. It tells YouTube that it's a cool video, even though they hate us cannabis and won't monetize us or anything. They're pretty hard on cannabis content. So you telling them that this is good stuff makes them think twice, I think, maybe. If the algorithm is showing, positivity around cannabis, then maybe eventually they'll change their minds. I don't know. It is what it is for now. So thank you for now. I'll be back on Twitch later. I've been playing Oblivion, the old Elder Scrolls remastered that just came out a couple days ago. It's been phenomenal. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've never played this one, so it's like a brand new game for me. I'm loving it, noobing it up. So coming out on Twitch. If you know the game, you can give me some tips and tricks, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, I'll see you real soon. Sunday for sure, 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time for Sunday session. And yeah, I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye, guys. Bye.